It was just another day at the Minions' lair when Gru's yellow underlings stumbled upon a mysterious artifact. The discovery would not only change their lives forever, but also give them a new member to their group. It all started when a small group of minions were taking out the trash. Yes, even minions have to do household chores. They were carrying large bins outside to be collected by the big green garbage truck. One minion looked through the gaps in the bins and saw something that made him stop in his tracks. "Ooh, pretty," he said, mesmerized by what he had seen. The other minions, Dave, Stuart, and Bob, looked through the gaps and gasped. Inside one of the bins was a huge, intricately carved golden pyramid. It looked like something from a history book about ancient Egypt, but how did it get there? And what was it doing in the trash? The minions had no idea, but they were determined to find out. After all, they loved anything that sparkled. They carefully lifted the heavy pyramid out of the bin and carried it back to their lair. There, they placed it on the table and surrounded it with candles to make it look extra special. But as soon as Kevin, Phil, and Bob placed the pyramid down, strange things started to happen. The room began to shake and the candles were blown out, plunging them into darkness. Suddenly, a beam of light shot out of the pyramid and hit the wall, revealing a secret passage. "Wow," breathed Kevin, his eyes wide with wonder. Before any of them could say a word, another beam shot out and hit the floor, creating a huge crack. It split open, revealing a staircase leading down into the darkness. "Do you think it's safe?" asked Stuart nervously, fiddling with his glasses. "I don't know," replied Bob, equally frightened. He swallowed hard before continuing, "but we won't know unless we go down there." So with that, they started to walk down the stairs. As they descended, the air grew colder and darker until finally they reached the bottom. The room was filled with all kinds of gadgets and gizmos, some of which looked like they were straight out of a sci-fi movie. But one thing caught their attention more than anything else: a huge crystal ball in the center of the room. As the minions approached, they saw their own reflections in its surface. But it wasn't their usual yellow, banana-loving selves they saw. No, these minions were different. They had special powers. Stuart could fly, Kevin could turn invisible, and Bob could even shoot lasers from his eyes. The minions were stunned. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. Was this some kind of magic trick, or were they actually mutants now? Before they could investigate further, the ground started to shake again and the walls began to close in. "We gotta get out of here," yelled Kevin over the noise. They turned and ran for the stairs, but they weren't fast enough. The room started to collapse and the minions were buried under tons of dirt and rocks. When they finally managed to dig themselves out, they found themselves in a completely different place. They were in the middle of an ancient Egyptian tomb, surrounded by hieroglyphics and sarcophagi. And in the center of it all was the golden pyramid. But as they stared at it, they realized with a start that it wasn't just any ordinary pyramid. It was the legendary Minions and the Shifting Sands, an artifact of immense power that had been lost for centuries. And as if to prove it, the Minions felt themselves being transported back to their own time and place. When they arrived, they were back in their old familiar lair, except now it was filled with boxes and packing tape. Gru had apparently moved out. But that didn't matter anymore because they had something much better. Now they had each other. And after everything they had been through, they knew they would be best friends forever.